work by A-Dubb Productions, AlanAwade.com. Shop now for your DTF transfers, your gang sheets, and everything else that www.alanawade.com has to offer you. Soon, very soon, coming up on the website, we will be having something very, very exclusive for people, let's just say people of the larger stature, people of size of abundance. So we're going to be releasing a few pieces of merch for a limited time only, starting from size 2XL going all the way up to 5XL for a limited time only. So wait for it, and that's coming up soon down the pipeline. But I want to talk to you guys today briefly about something that has been on my mind that I want to share with you guys that you guys can probably learn from. It's something that I did recently that I want to share with you guys to make sure that you guys don't make the same mistake that I did. But right now I'm just checking my live to make sure everything is streaming good. As you guys are coming in, hit that thumbs up button. Let me know where you are viewing from, and don't forget to share the live out and things like that. Okay, so we got 7 people watching right now. So let me know who's watching. I need to know who's watching. I need to know who I'm talking to. All right, and what you do in the garment decorating industry. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about was the other day I got a job. Okay, let me go back it up a little bit so you guys can get some context. So the other day, I say about a couple days ago, I think it was about Monday. Was it last week? Monday, I think it was. I got the date. Anyway, I was really, really busy this day. I was printing DTF transfers. I was pressing t-shirts. I had a customer that was on the way to the shop to pick up the t-shirts at a certain time, and I was also embroidering all at the same time. Now, as you guys can imagine, sometimes when you have a lot going on, it's kind of hard to keep up with what's coming in. Meanwhile, I was getting phone calls also. So in the midst of me doing everything, I got a phone call from somebody on my business phone. And guys, shout out to Reggie Frazier from Miami and Lisa Otto. Thank you so much for joining in. Don't forget the thumbs up button. So I got a phone call on my business phone, and I picked up. And I always get spam calls on a day-to-day basis consistently. And I know where it originated from. It originated from when I financed my MT 2002 8S. That's a 2-head Racoma embroidery machine. I think they financed me through one of those janky finance companies, you know, not the top tier one, even though I had good credit, but they financed me through one of those janky companies. And when you use one of those janky companies, what ends up happening is they sell your information to a bunch of other companies that will now spam you and call you 100 times a day from different phone numbers to offer you lines of credit. Let me know if any of you guys are receiving these phone calls. I'm curious to know because I can't be the only one. Let me know in the chat. Are any of you guys receiving an abnormal amount of spam phone calls to your personal phone or to your business phone, offering you lines of credit and stuff like that? Let me know. But anyway, so when I got the phone call, what happens is typically within a couple sentences, I can tell normally if it's a spam phone call or if it's somebody that generally wants business. And an indicator to me when it's a spam phone call is when they call you and they say, "Is this Alan?" If you're calling Alan's phone, and if I answer the phone, because I answer my business phone, I say, A-Dubb Productions, how can I help you? If you're asking, "Is this Alan?" then it leads me to kind of believe that you're like a spam person because you're trying to find out who it is so you can find out if you have the right person on the phone so you can now solicit to them, right? So, and forgive me because I might not be explaining this exactly how it happened, but I believe I said, how can I help you? And the person repeated, is this Alan? And then I hung up the phone because I was in the middle of printing DTFs, embroidering, and doing and trying to cut transfers so I can get ready for the shirts that I had to press before the customer got here. So I had a lot going on. Reggie says, I receive them every day, all day. Yes. So, Reggie, I feel your pain. I block them as they come through. But the problem is, Dawn, the problem with that is as you block them, they make new numbers and they call you from new numbers. So that's it's got to be some type of illegal activity going on here. And Dawn is from Indiana. Shout out to Indiana. Shout out to Q Showers from Detroit, Michigan. So the person called back. From a different number and said, "Hi, Alan, this is so-and-so. I was recommended to you, and I just called you. Did you hang up on me or something like that?" And I said, "Oh, I'm sorry. I get spam calls all the time, so I didn't know it was a real person. I thought it was a solicitor or whatever." So, it's just a shame that sometimes you got to miss business in order to screen your phone calls. But anyway, it was kind of a little back and forth because the person said, I was recommended to you by XYZ, and I didn't know the person's name. So I said, okay. What can I help you with? But she was asking me, did I know the person? And I said, no, I that name does not ring a bell. But how can I help you? She said, well, you don't know who's recommending you? I said, well, I have a YouTube channel. I got over 100,000 subscribers. I got a bunch of people on social media that might call me for business. So if somebody happens to recommend me, I can't necessarily keep track of who everybody is. And in this instance, I didn't know who the person was. So that was the whole thing. So then she went on to say that she had a embroidery job that she needed to get done as soon as possible. And that the person that recommended them to me had the job and they screwed it all up. So they wanted the job done correctly. So in the midst of me doing everything and trying to help this person as best I could, I agreed. I said, okay, just come on over and drop your stuff off and tell me what you need to get done and I'll help you out. All right. So fast forward, I'm still doing my stuff. They call me, tell me they're outside. The car pulled up. I went to go meet them, and it's like a car full of 3 people. Okay, so they get out, they come inside, and we start talking while I'm still working, right? So we're talking, they're looking around, seeing my whole operation. I'm explaining to them the services that I offer, and they're telling me about they're kind of explaining what happened and what they wanted done. So what they told me was that they gave an embroidery job to a guy and he messed up everything. They told him to embroider specific things in specific areas on garments. It wasn't even garments. It was people that had an Airbnb, and they had comforters, they had shams, they had pillowcases, they had sheets, they had robes, and it was so much stuff, and they wanted it all embroidered on. Let me see if I can show you guys a picture, because I ended up saying to them that, okay, what I'm going to do is, because like I said, guys, this is in the midst of me doing a bunch of different stuff, right? So it kind of like I had a mental block because I was doing a lot at the time. So what I said was I would honor the price that the guy that messed them up had given them. And that was the mistake that I made. And I don't ever want you guys to make that mistake. Make sure if you are in a situation, I'm trying to find a picture for you guys. Make sure if you are in a situation like I am, where you're flustered, you got a lot going on, you just want to get these people out of your face, make sure you don't ever, ever, ever say anything like that or give anybody a price quote unless you are paying attention to exactly what's going on. All right, so real fast, check on the screen. This is like 2 comforters, right? Bed sheets. You're looking at a Kohl's bag with robes in it. You're looking at another bag with washcloth. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention washcloths, bath towels, hand towels, sheets, and anyway, that's what they dropped off. And they want each item, the embroidery, which is their logo, had to be placed in a specific placement, and that's exactly where they wanted it. So yeah. I'm like, yeah, I got you. I'll do it. So in the meantime, while I'm doing all of this, I wanted to show them what I can do on the fly, because when he showed me a picture of what the person had did for them on a towel, the design of their logo that he had embroidered was all like skewed and zigzagged. And I told them it was because the person didn't do a knockdown stitch before they embroidered onto the towel. And that's why it came out looking a little wavy, and like the thread was peeking, the fuzz of the towel was peeking through the embroidery or whatever. I told them they didn't do a knockdown stitch. And I also told them most people, when you give them a job, they outsource the digitizing and then they just use the file that they get. And I went ahead and told them that I'm the person that sometimes they outsource it to, and I'm the person that can digitize right here. I do my own digitizing when it comes to files like this. And so to show them, to give them an example, I digitized the logo right there on the spot. And I showed them what a knockdown stitch is. And I did a small rendition before they left, and they're like, oh, great. Right? So it wasn't on a towel. It was on like a 2-piece of stabilizer. So then they left. I finished my work for the day. It was a long day, by the way. And I tried to start that job, but I didn't get to start it. So, and it's a good thing that I didn't also. So the next morning, I'm like, okay, I got all this stuff to do. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to plan this out and take a good look at this job and what I was doing. So I saw that they had sent me some money, and I looked at the money they sent me, and that was the price that the other person had paid. I want you guys in the chat. I'm going to bring up that picture again. I want you guys in the chat to embroider on all this stuff. Like, okay, so to give you an idea, the big comforters got like a 8-inch logo on it. The sheets got like a 6-inch logo on it. The towels got the 4-inch logo with the bath towels, with the hand towels, and it's like maybe like 4 of those. The robes got the 4-inch on the left chest, and it was just a lot. The shams got I think it was like a 5-inch or a 4-inch or something like that. No, not the 4-inch, like I think a 6-inch. And all this had to be in a specific area on each piece. I want you guys in the chat to guess, just take a wild guess of how much they were trying to pay to get all this stuff done. Take a wild guess in the chat. I want you guys to guess. Let me go and check it out live on YouTube so I can see how much you guys are guessing. Take a wild guess. I want you guys to look and see. Shout out to Reggie Frazier. Shout out to Dawn Warner. What he told them, $50? No, bro. A little bit more than that. It was a little bit more than that. $150. Lucy Lou, you're close, which is crazy. By the way. Everybody's guessing $50. No. But to give you guys an idea, $100, $70, $100. To give you guys an idea, it was like 30-something pieces, different sizes, different locations on each. Francine Brownlee says $250. All right, stop guessing how much. Stop guessing how much they tried. Somebody said Richard Murray said $300. All right, so stop guessing how much and guess and tell me. Let me know how much. I'm gonna bring the picture back up again and let me know how much you would have charged just off the top of your head. Let me know how much you would charge to embroider different sizes on all these garments. So you got 1, 2, 3 comforters, like 4 different towel sets with big towel, hand towel, washcloths, like 6 sheets, pillow shams, bunch of pillowcases, all that right there in that pile. And this is a bad like picture of how much stuff it was, because it in person it looks like a whole lot more. Let me know in the comments, just looking at this, how much money off the top of your head, how much money would you charge for something like this? Keep in mind, you got different size. This is a good exercise for us. You got different size images that's going, different size digitizings that's going on each thing. You got specific placements, and you have to digitize the thing and resize the digitizing each thing and make sure you hoop it correctly and all that. Karen Caldwell says 175. Reggie Fraser says 400. Man. let me wait till I get some more responses. Lucy Lou says 1,500 plus. That's what I'm talking about, Lucy Lou. Hey, Lucy Lou, we're kind of on the same page. But all right, so all that $600 to $700 on the cheap. I have no problem overhead. All right, listen. So Q Showers says $600. Lisa Otto says $900. You guys are getting close. All right, so by the time I sat down that morning, 3D Borders Gamer says 1,000. By the time I sat down that morning and look at everything that I had, I think he sent me a breakdown of everything. I'm trying to find it. When I sat down and looked at everything, I calculated about $1,280 worth of work. And this is the kicker that I didn't realize while they were there. I had let them pick the threads for the right colors that closely match the colors that they wanted. And when they picked the thread, keep in mind, in the studio, I got about 8 multi-heads. But remember, your multi-heads are only as good as the amount of thread colors that you have, right? Meaning, like, if you got 2 multi-heads, but you only got 1 gold, then you only got 1 multi-head. And if somebody picks that gold, then you only got 1 multi-head, right? So they picked one of the colors that goes to the logo. I only had 1 thread for. So now I'm limited to doing all those pieces on 1 machine. So there's another variable. All right, so let me try to find this text if I can with all this. What phone was it? I don't even think it was this phone. I think it was this phone. So I calculated about $1,280, and they had sent me $176. And using 1 machine, this was going to be about 2 days worth of work. So I had to man up and make the phone call. And first I text him and I let him know, like, hey, this is the issue. There's an issue with your order. And how did I put it? I said that there's no way that I can do it at that price. I didn't word it like that. I was more strategic in my wording. But basically I told him I couldn't do it because it wasn't enough money. And what ended up happening is the person said, well, can you please at least do the 4 robes? And I did the 4 robes. And the 4 robes came out amazing. But I'm trying to okay, here's some pictures of the robes. I don't want to put the person's phone number on here, but I'm trying to find the breakdown. Oh, is this the breakdown? Wait. Okay. PDF file. No, this was the logo right here. That was the logo. All right. Where's the breakdown? It might have been in the email. Anyway, I'm gonna show you guys a video, short video of me when I was embroidering the. Okay, can't hear anything. 1 second. This is this. Oh, I don't like this. I don't like this. Hold on. Oh, I can't control this. I don't like this at all. Okay, so here's the design being embroidered. Right here, you guys can see the design being embroidered. It's just looping it on the screen. So as you guys can see, the logo itself has a knockdown stitch underneath the actual design. And that's what's making the thread not, well, the fuzziness of the robe not peek through the garment. All right. So that was on the MT1501. Let me show you guys after it was done. After it was done, it looked like this. All right. And they were very, very pleased. And that was 100 times better than what they had gotten done. Right. So then I sent them this picture right here with the different bags right there. All right. So you guys see that each bag had 2 big fluffy robes in it. And then they came and picked up everything else. But yeah, I mean, they got an idea of why I charge the price that I charge. And when I talked to them on the phone, I was very nice, and I told them kind of like why my pricing was the way it was and how I did my pricing. And it was really, really an enlightening experience for me, because it taught me that sometimes what you think might be a hard conversation is not necessarily a hard conversation, especially if you choose your words wisely and you talk to people respectfully in a way that they can understand the message that you're trying to convey. And basically the message was, hey, this design at 8 inches is going to take 45 minutes to embroider. Unfortunately, the threads that you picked, I can't use all of my machines. So I'm going to have to use one machine to embroider every single thing. I know that's not your problem, but judging by the number of items I have to embroider, this is going to be a 2-day job. And for $176, I cannot sacrifice 2 days to knock this out. I calculate $1,280 to do this job. And I'm giving you a break on the digitizing because I'm not charging you for that. And I didn't charge you for that when I did it. Digitize it right there in Chroma Lux right in front of their face. And they said, oh, that's way out of our budget. Unfortunately, we're going to have to, let me make a phone call and try to figure this out. So he made a phone call. He called me back and he told me that they were going to come back and pick up all this stuff. And then he asked, can you at least do the robes? I think I calculated the robes to like something like $90-something because I charged, I think I only charged them because they were on a budget. I think I charged them for the digitizing, and then I charged them like, because it was only like a 4-inch on the left chest. I think I charged them like $15 per, plus I think I charged 25 or 30 for digitized. I forget, but it was like $90-something. And then I gave him back the rest of the money. So the reason why I say it was enlightening is because, like I said, sometimes what you interpret as a tough conversation is not that difficult. And sometimes you might be overthinking things, because when you explain things to people in a way that makes sense, they understand it, and they understand. And when you're providing a service and they see that the quality of what you are providing is exactly what they had in mind and what they wanted versus what they had before, they see that your service demands a certain price, right? So they don't mind like, hey, um, thank you so much. Love what you did with the robes. Let me get my money together and we'll come back and we'll maybe do this another time. So they got an Airbnb and they're just trying to get their stuff together and look nice. And I wanted to help them so bad, but I couldn't do it because based off of the work that I had to do, let me give you some perspective. That morning when I did my DTF jobs that morning while they were there, I did $400 worth of orders in DTFs that morning, right? So that's $400 right there worth of DTF orders. But I got to spend 2 days to do your $176 order. It just wasn't going to work. And the math, when you added up the total amount of stitches, right, times how fast you're running, well, divided by how fast you're running the machine, that gives you how much time it's going to take. And you got to charge for X amount of time, 2 8-hour shifts in this case that I calculated, times what you want to pay yourself. And that's how, anyway, it just didn't make any sense. But I want to tell you guys this so that you guys don't make the same mistake. Do not ever, ever, ever accept or tell somebody that you're going to honor somebody else's price without knowing exactly what that price was. I just thought that that person, after I found out who it was, because let me tell you, I skipped a part. When they came by and they said, "You don't know Mike?" I said, "No. Does he have an Instagram?" So they told me what his Instagram was, and I went on the Instagram, and it turned out that it was another guy named, I'm not going to name his name, but the person that they that recommended me was the son of the guy that I actually knew. So if they'd have said the guy that I actually knew, then I would have known who it was. But they told his son recommended me, and I've never met his son. I don't even know his son. So I said, "Oh, that's so and so. Oh, well, I don't know that guy, so I wouldn't know his name, but he recommended me." So let me dig further into this, because this is what I think happened. The son took the job, quoted one price that was way under what he should have quoted because he's inexperienced. He did the job, he messed it up, and instead of doing the job over, he knew based on what the job entailed that he priced him wrong, so he pushed the job onto somebody else, which is me. So that's what I think happened, because what embroidery company gives a job to another embroiderer? Like, it's not even a thing, right? Like, you want business, you want your business to be profitable. You want to do, am I tripping? Guys in the chat, let me know if that's what I think happened. I'm not sure. Let me go to the comments and see what you guys are saying. They might come back too. Yeah, they definitely are going to come back, or might come back, because their business is in North Carolina. So that's why they had to take their stuff and leave. But the guy did contact me again to do some shirts for a church, and they definitely said that if they would have had a budget, they'd have went with me, especially after they saw the robes and how good they came out with. Hope your day went great. Busy day over here. Good T-Town T-shirts. I like to hear that. Busy day. Nice. Wow. Who in the world would do that job for $176? That is crazy. Exactly. Sometimes you just gotta know I can't do it, to free up your time to do things that make sense. My wife had a customer walk in who wanted their design and have 5 shirts ready in an hour. Impossible. All that for $5 a shirt. The customer could not comprehend why she couldn't do it for that price. That is incredible. 3D board gamer. This stuff never ceased to amaze me. Never ceased to amaze me. But moving right along, guys. I want to talk to you guys real fast about something. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna save that for another video. But let me see if you guys have any questions in the chat, and then we'll end this live and we'll come back a little bit later, give you guys a chance to digest and think about what happened to me and make sure that you guys are having these tough conversations with your customers, because sometimes you might quote somebody something that's not accurate in the moment, but after you get the file, it might be more stitches than you anticipated. It might be a blank that you don't have. Anything can happen to where as though you're like, oh my gosh, I messed this up. And the thing that can fix that is having a conversation that you think might be a tough conversation, but it's not necessarily a tough conversation. And you got to have these conversations, because if you consistently do these jobs and sacrifice your time just to make a little bit of money, then your business can never grow. That's the reality of it. You sacrifice at the cost of your business growing, because if you're not being profitable, your business is not going to grow. And that's not fair to yourself. That's not fair to your business. And in a way, that's not fair to the customer either, because you're not going to be around for the long run. And you can't grow like that. You can't get to hire customers. You can't get to buy new equipment to, give your customers better prices. It's a whole gang of things. But guys, that's all I got for you right now. Let me see the comments real fast. If you guys are saying anything, if you guys got anything for me, I just want you guys to know, head on over to AlanAwade.com to get your DTF transfers if you're on the market for some. I will be posting sublimation DTF gang sheets available soon on the website. And also something else I'm working on is we will be selling stickers soon. Stickers. So the stickers that are actually cut out in the shape of the actual designs. Working on that. Bear with me. That's going to roll out very, very soon on AlanAwade.com. So stay tuned for that. Another thing I'm going to be rolling out soon is some designs, some shirts for larger individuals from 2X on up to 5X. All right. I'm going to be working on that soon. So stay tuned for that. If you guys got anybody that's on the larger side of things. Meanwhile, let me see if I have anything else that I want to share with you guys. Thanks for your time, brother. My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you. Those of you guys that are not following me on Instagram, make sure you guys go to Instagram and follow me on Instagram at A-Dubb Productions on Instagram, Alan Wade or A-Dubb Productions on Instagram. Here's a job that I finished yesterday for a client right there. I did a hat, 2 hats, and then I did some applique on 2 t-shirts right there. Just spared a moment for a customer that I think she followed me online. I'm not sure, but she does know Craftable Things and a few other people that you guys might know. So yeah, your embroidery calculator is great help for us who are new to the business. Yes, and what's crazy is that's what helped me that morning come up with a quick price of what I should be charging, right? Because you can just change the numbers and plug it in, and it'll give you a quick idea of what you should be charging. You can adjust it, like how fast you're running your machine, how many machines you have, how many stitches the design is, and stuff like that, how much you want to pay yourself. And at the end, it gives you an idea, a quick reference of about a ballpark figure of what you should be charging the people. So those of you guys that need something like that, embroidery price calculator, go to my website, AlanAwade.com. Let me show you guys real fast. I have it available on the website. And on the website, guys, it's not actually a thing in the drop-down menu. It's not a thing. So you got to go to the search menu and type in calculator. All right, so we got one calculator for Apple numbers that opens up in the app Apple numbers, and we got the other calculator that opens up in Google Sheets. If you have an Android, you get the one that opens up in Google Sheets, and if you got the Apple numbers, you got the one that opens up in Apple for your iPhone. And those prices right here, they should not be $2. I should have changed that a long time ago. That was a temporary price that I had up. But for right now, for 1 hour, since you guys are on the stream, I'll leave that price the same right there, $2 for a digital download of the embroidery price calculator. All right, so as it says, thank you for watching the stream, staying this long. So thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. And I'm also adding some new features to that embroidery price calculator too. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Yeah, I got a few things I want to add to that to make it more accurate, kind of sort of, to give you like hone in on more of an exact price. But as it stands, it's a tool that I use. I used that morning, and yeah. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll talk to you guys on the next video. Stay tuned, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed yet. And guys, I know like I'm full of energy right now, and that's because I've been working out and trying to eat better. And I encourage you guys to do the same. It's like your body, you got one body and you got to use it or lose it. It took me a little while to kind of like get back in the swing of things as far as working out is concerned. When I first started back, I was like 10 minutes in the gym and then I'm out of there because I just didn't have the energy to work out. But now I could be like 2 hours in there and I feel a lot better. So my energy's coming back. Everything's coming back. We'll have a whole conversation. Maybe I'll do a whole video on that, health and stuff like that later on, to give you guys some words of encouragement, because as we get older, things just get all weird and nobody prepared us for this, right or wrong, in the chat. Nobody prepared us for this. So it's like, you're like, what is going on with my body? Why am I feeling this way? Why is, you know what I mean? Why is my leg hurt? You know, and stuff like that. So only thing I can say is keep moving, keep exercising, try to eat as healthy as you can. And eating healthy, that's a whole nother can of worms, because that's tough, because sometimes you might think that you're eating something healthy and you're not, because most of our food is making us sick, unfortunately. So you got to even choose your food choices very wisely. And it directly is related to and affects your business, because if you don't have any energy, you can't be productive on a day-to-day basis. Your day is cut short because you just want to stop and lay down. You just want to have something to eat and lay down. And that's the wrong thing to do too. So I digress, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys on the next video.